WFAA TV, Channel 8. The spirit of Texas. This is News 8 at 6.
Something broke. And when that broke, it fell and probably hit a guy wire.
A television tower in southwest Dallas County collapses today, killing 3 maintenance workers. Gusty winds may have had something to do with the accident. Good evening. The 3 workers scaled the tower belonging to Channel 39, KXTX-TV, to install a new antenna. But somehow near the top of that tower in Cedar Hill, something went tragically wrong. The tower crumbled, killing the 3 workers. With more on the story, here's Channel 8's Dana Baird live from the scene now in Cedar Hill. Dana?
Well, Brad, emergency crews have left the area. All that remains are some electricians on the scene who are securing the area and working to restore electricity so that station personnel can go back and begin the cleanup process. Now, once that begins, this will give you an idea of what that cleanup process will begin. There are shards of steel, sharp, this one weighing about 20 pounds, scattered in all directions for hundreds of feet throughout this area. Now, while the cleanup process is just getting underway, investigators are still trying to determine what caused this tragedy. It reached more than 1,500 feet into the sky, standing amidst the broadcast antenna farm in Cedar Hill. But within seconds, the KXTX Channel 39 television tower toppled over, killing 3 people, sparking fires below, and knocking several television and radio stations temporarily off the air. David Streeter lives a half-mile away from the site.
Half of it, probably about 2/3 of it was horizontal, and the other part was still vertical. It was on its way down, so I saw about maybe 2 seconds maximum the tower falling down.
Channel 39 contracted with Dodie Moore in Cedar Hill to install a new antenna on the tower. 3 of the 4-man crew were perched 1,300 feet in the air on a gin pole similar to this one when the tower crumbled into a mass of red and white steel.
Obviously, something went wrong. Something happened. Something broke.
Chief Engineer Howard Nash says gusting winds forced him to call off workers for the day. A half hour after he arrived at his nearby home, he got a call. When he stepped outside and didn't see the tower, he knew the results were tragic.
I've been around here 21 years. I can't think of anything worse.
Firefighters recovered 1 body in brush approximately 600 feet from the tower's base, while other emergency crews worked to remove 2 other bodies encased in twisted metal from atop the station's transmitter building. Amazingly, the worker on the ground survived without a scratch.
It just fell away like a domino.
Officials say many people witnessed some of the collapse since townspeople were already outside watching a parade pass through Cedar Hill.
We had reports initially of everything from a plane hitting it. You can imagine, it went the full gamut. But it's some type of structural collapse is all we have.
While fire officials say a plane has been ruled out, station engineers aren't certain what caused the catastrophe.
I don't necessarily think that wind did it. The tower was rated for 70-mile-an-hour wind with the loading that was on it. So I don't think that that was necessarily the factor. It may have been a contributing factor.
Now, Brad, we can also tell you that station officials say that this particular tower was rated from a safety standpoint as one of the safest in the area. They are still perplexed. They do not know how this could have happened, and they say it could be next week sometime before they actually know a cause on this accident. One other note, we can tell you that the medical examiner has yet to release the names of those victims. Brad, back to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Dana Baird in Cedar Hill tonight. Thanks very much. 3 radio stations remained off the air this afternoon: the Oasis, KOAI, B100, KRBB, and Young Country, KYNG. At this hour, Young Country is switching its programming to 94.9 on the FM dial. The Cedar Hill complex is worth hundreds of millions of dollars to broadcasters in North Texas. And when disaster strikes one, the others feel it. Channel 8's Byron Harris is flying over Cedar Hill in helicopter aid right now with more on that. Byron?
Brad, when the day began, there were 9 television towers below me here at Cedar Hill. Now, as we look live at the wreckage of Channel 39, there are only 8. But there's far more effect here than just one television station.
This is, I believe, the Channel 49 tower. This is the Miller tower. And this is the rebuilt Channel 4 tower, Channel 4, 5, and 8. And that one over there is one being built. That one over there is Channel 11's tower. And that one over there, I'm not quite sure of whose that one is. And of course, this one is the new 4 and 8 tower.
KDTN's Mike Anderson points to the needles in a haystack of communications. Cedar Hill bristles with antennas for a reason. At 860 feet above sea level, it's one of the highest elevations in North Texas. By putting their antennas at such a relatively lofty elevation, TV and radio stations can broadcast farther. Radio stations piggyback on TV towers, making Cedar Hill a nerve center for broadcasters.
KOAI, KKDA.
When Channel 39's tower collapsed, it took several radio stations which had their transmitters on the same tower with it. Some of them have backup transmitters in case of an emergency. 3, Young Country, V100, and the Oasis do not.
No, the main support tower legs appear to be bowed.
This is not the only time such a mishap has wiped out broadcasters. In 1987, a jet fighter hit a transmitter tower that served both WFAA and KDFW. Both stations had to scramble for alternate ways to broadcast their signals. That ruined broadcast tower still litters a field at Cedar Hill. A reminder that the Tinker Toys, which appear so spindly on the horizon, are really massive multi-ton structures up close.
This is immovable.
And a reminder, too, of the tragedy that occurs when they fall.
Now, Brad, I'm told that as I speak, as you mentioned earlier, 94.9 KYNG Young Country is back on the air at 94.9. As for Channel 39 on the television side, for the foreseeable future, it will be available only on cable. Back to you, Brad.
Okay, thanks. Byron Harris tonight in Helicopter 8. Thanks very much. In other news, tonight Irving police are trying to unravel a mystery of how a dead newborn baby was found this morning in a dumpster. Police say the little girl was found behind the Willow Apartments by an elderly man looking for aluminum cans.
The child had like a white sweater type top on in diapers.
Was there any evidence that the child might have been abused?
Again, from outward signs, there was no outward signs of trauma or abuse or anything like that.
Police say the person who placed the baby in the dumpster covered her with a blanket. They believe the child was Hispanic or white and died sometime last night. Police request anyone with information to call Irving investigators. The medical fate of 10-year-old Rachel Stout of Fort Worth is still in limbo tonight. Her parents have apparently not met a deadline. Consenting to the operation for her, they resisted for weeks. Channel 8's Janet St. James joins us now live in the Fort Worth newsroom on what's next for Rachel. Janet?
Brad, Tarrant County Child Protective Services has threatened to step in and take control of Rachel Stout's medical welfare if her parents didn't voluntarily agree to surgery. Rachel, you'll recall, was transferred from Children's Medical Center in Dallas last Sunday to Duke University Hospital in Durham, Colorado for one final medical opinion. Doctors there agreed Rachel's diseased colon must be removed or she'll die. Last night, the Stouts' lawyers said they have no intention of consenting to surgery at this time, despite recommendations from doctors in 4 cities. They still seek alternative treatment. We're getting late word now that the Stouts have been given a few hours to change their mind and sign. We're awaiting word from Child Protective Services as to what will come next. A spokesman for the organization tells us if they do step in, the Stouts will lose control of the situation and Rachel could be scheduled for surgery this week. We'll let you know what happens. Brad, back to you in Dallas.
Okay, thanks very much, Janet. In Washington, D.C. today, a call for justice and immigration reform by thousands of Hispanic Americans. The March for Justice included Hispanics from all walks of life and all around the nation, but their message was the same. They view recent immigration and welfare legislation as racist and want changes. About 150 North Texans traveled to Washington for that march that organizers claim drew 50,000 to 80,000 people. They're demanding a streamlined citizenship process, an extended immigration period, and a $7 an hour minimum wage. The North Texans say they made the trip because they hope to brighten the future for themselves and their children.
All of our concerns on all the Hispanic community is about our children's future for education. The ones that all the congressmen doesn't want to give us to all our children, and we are here to fight for all of that.
Hispanics are expected to become the nation's largest ethnic minority by the year 2000. We now have numbers from Dallas police of the arrests during this big Texas OU weekend. So far, around 80 people have been arrested, most of them college students and most of them for public intoxication. That's a jump from last year's 41 arrests, but it still doesn't beat the 1968 record of 563 arrests. Over the past few years, police have stiffened laws to keep the revelers in order. Later in sports, highlights of that exciting Texas OU game played at the Cotton Bowl. And because of the long Texas OU game tonight, we will be preempting Wheel of Fortune in its entirety, but this time we apologize to you Wheel viewers. Now, when we come back this evening, with the stroke of a brush, Fort Worth volunteers hope to paint a fresh image on some neighborhoods. Plus, stopping the flu bug without stopping your car.